welcome to my Artist Alley review thing. I should give this a name. And I know this review is long overdue. This was a show that I did back in September, but I'm here. I'm ready to do the review. I have everything lined out. And yeah, I want to make this like a regular series for after I release the vlog portion of my experience at a convention, and just sit and talk about the con a little in like a quieter area and just all the specifics in case anyone is interested in wanting to do the show, and hopefully it's helpful. If not, well, let me know and I'll quit. So this is going to go over like the basic general overview, the kind of before the convention, during the convention, setup, all that kind of stuff. Just little things that may or may not be helpful in what you're looking for in a show. You're curious about how it went, the business side of it. I know artists don't like to talk about that, but it's part of it, you know. Let's just get right into it. So the show itself was named Corazon de la Cultura, which was a special show made for 16 de Septiembre, or otherwise known as Mexican Independence Day. I was really excited to be part of this show. This show was put on by Common Hearts Texas, who is a collective that love to put together shows here in the DFW area that showcase Latinx vendors, essentially, from anyone from art to makers to artists. It's just, they put on shows very often, and I was just like trying to eye one for when one was available on my schedule, and I was really lucky that I was able to find this one and apply just in time, because I really wanted to do a show in September and hopefully another show in the future. They do so many amazing shows in the DFW area. If you are local to DFW, I do recommend doing their shows if you are a Latina based creator, of course. And yeah, no, they're very organized, very communicative, and they promote the hell out of their shows, which is something that I appreciate. So the table that I got a 6-foot table space, which did not include the table. I had to provide my own table, which this is kind of standard for like local art shows. If you're doing like outdoor art markets or just art vendor markets in general that isn't like anime convention, comic convention based, usually you have to provide your own table, and hopefully the vendors will let you know ahead of time. I have participated in a show before where we did not get warning. Thankfully, like I found out from like just artists talking to each other. Like this one, they were very upfront about letting us know that we are providing our own tables, which that's fine. I have my own table, and it's local, so it's not a problem. The space was, I think it was roughly like a 10 by 10 space. I had a fairly good amount of room around my table, behind the table, and then just good space between me and the next vendors around me. No complaints there. The vendor space fee was $70. So for $70, I had that space, and I think there were some spaces where vendors had like racks or something that they had to set behind them. I think they had different priced spacing, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I'm very sorry, I don't have that information. Once that payment was made, it secured your spot, and then they made a list of all of the vendors, and they actually promoted the vendors on all their socials that they had, like listed us out by name, which not many shows that I do, which I really appreciate. That's really cool. Yeah, just know that if you're a show and you promote your creators, it really means a lot to us. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about before the show, along with like the booking. So you already know the table fee, and there's certain like aspects before the show that I like to think about, like the marketing, how they promote, communication, just stuff like that. Overall, the marketing I think was marketing. You know, they utilize social media. I don't watch TV, like cable TV, so I'm not sure if there was any TV promo spots, but I mean, not many people really do watch TV, and a lot of people get like ad-free services, so if you have the money to do that, great. But like this was a local show, you know, as long as it was promoted on socials and maybe like a few outlets like interviews, podcasts, little press releases, great. I did notice a lot of social media presence with the show, and I saw a lot of the creators. This is one thing I do like. When you promote your creators and like you tag them, we're all sharing the posts and everything, which gets everything out. And I saw all the creators just sharing things, and while they were tagging Common Hearts in their posts and stuff, Common Hearts would share it on their feed. So it's like constant cross promotion, which I really liked. So I was like, you know what, for a local show, this is great publicity. Communication was really good before the show. It was actually very informative. One thing that I love about shows is when they give you all the information, like right as you're applying or you have been accepted, like what time you have to be there, what you need to bring, all that stuff. It was like just given to us from the get-go, which I appreciate. There were also a couple of check-ins that we had before the show with marketing materials. They gave us the graphics to share. Also another check-in, like reminders and everything, like remember to bring your table, have this, no power. They're very upfront about like everything you're getting and everything that's like around your booth. Timeline of publicity before the show, and I know this is like very different depending on like demographics, size of show, and everything. I will say the publicity for the show was actually, I think it was like 2 weeks before the show. That was all that was publicized, but that's because they turn around so many shows. Like they do a show, I want to say like at least once a month, if not twice a month. They have so many shows, but they are constantly promoting, which honestly brings engagement to their accounts. So I have no like worries that people weren't going to see the promotions online. Usually on bigger scale shows, I expect like a couple of months in advance to start publicity, especially with the way algorithms are lately. But with this one, I thought it was just fine. All right, let's talk about setup. So y'all saw me go in and set up. It was fairly easy. We were at the Four Corners Brewery, which is a bar / brewery here in Dallas. It was Four Corners, which is a brand that is local here to Dallas. And I actually really love their venue. I've done shows there before, and load-in's pretty easy. They have a small little parking lot outside that we just happened to get there on time and grab a spot. So all I had to do was like wheel the stuff in. They had people at the doors checking in and holding the doors open. They do have like garage doors, but because those walls were being used for vendors, they weren't open for this show. And I don't think they are open for any of the art shows that I've been part of, mainly because of wind. But no, setup was really easy. There were like no stairs or anything. It was fairly accessible. The area wasn't like as crowded, really. Like we had space to set up while not disturbing like other creator setups. There wasn't anything provided by the show in terms of like setup materials. Like of course we had to bring our own tablecloths, all that stuff. What was provided was just the space, which was a fairly decent space. Like for the venue size, the walkways that were made with the mapping was actually really good. I thought it was mapped out pretty well. For setup, we had, I think they started setup, I'm gonna confirm this real fast. I double checked my email. Setup was allowed 2 hours before the show. I think if I remember right, we only got there an hour before the show because my setup is fairly quick to do. So 2 hours total setup time was allowed at the venue, and that's usually based on like how much they rented out the space for. Sometimes people rent out the space all day and you have like all day to set up, which is kind of like how cons are. But sometimes for shows like this, you have a certain like allotment of hours that they are allowed to have the quote unquote event. I think everyone got set up fairly quickly within that time. It took me like 45 minutes to set up. So yeah, I think 2 hour setup time is like a good window for anyone who's like displaying art or whatever. Okay, so now let's talk about the show. Okay, so the show itself was a 4-hour show, which is actually a lot shorter than most of the shows I do. A standard one-day convention is like an 8-hour. It's like a work shift. If I do a weekend con, it's 3 to 4 days that are 8 hours each day. So this one was literally half of a normal convention day for me, it was easy breezy. Like, and so like with setup time, it was 5 hours of my day. Not bad. The traffic, I will say, did kind of like, it escalated at the top. And then towards, like, I think I remember in the vlog, like the last hour, we didn't have anybody. Yeah, the traffic was pretty steady at the beginning part of the show. I will say because it was a later show, it started at 6 p.m., went to 10 p.m. Later crowds, they're not as prominent in the area that we were in. It's more towards like getting towards the bar scene around like 9 p.m. And I think it was like the last hour of the show, like I didn't have any sales. Nothing. But yeah, I mean, that happens with shows, especially like if publicity is what it's at, if it's small scale, like yeah, sometimes traffic will get slow. Thankfully it was the last hour and not like in the middle or not like at the beginning where I like lose heart or whatever. Pretty decent for what I was expecting. My average sale size was about like $5, I will say. My stickers were my biggest money makers at this show, and the stickers, like, I'm just really glad to have something like that quick to buy, because like in this economy, you know, I like to have little quick buys just in case people can't afford like my prints or even some originals. I like to make sure people have it just in case they want to get just like a little piece of art. My top sellers of this show were 2 of the stickers. I forgot which 2 they were. I'll put them right here of which the top 2 were, but my stickers, those sold sold so well. I think because when you're going to a bar, the people that were there that didn't know about the show, that were just going to drink, of course, you just have like a debit card, you just do the quick buys or whatever. And anyone who was there, I'm sure, like, because all these other vendors had these big, exquisite pieces. I will say, like, jewelry, like canvases, beauty products, like those are going to be in the bigger price range. So as an artist, I'm like, no, I have to have the quick small buys because I know people are gonna be buying those big things. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. Wait till you see my haul. The general vibe of the show was actually really good. There was music playing at all times. It picked up so bad on my vlog that it got copyright striked. And I know, like, lots of shows, I will speak for art shows. It is fun when there is music playing. I know at conventions, like, there's so much noise that music may just like add too much to it, but I think having music at like art shows that are like close knit like this really help with the energy for sure. Was this show minority or LGBTQ friendly? I'm gonna say for what it was, yes. I don't think there was really anything that was like deterring anyone from coming, but I know being in Texas and being a Latina based event, sometimes people there's not accepting people in the community, and I get that. I myself, whenever you see me at a show, I always say, you are welcome at my table, member of LGBTQ, a minority group, like it's very welcome. This show was Latina based as a celebration, but of course anybody could come. And I always notice this with events that are like centered around like La Cultura, is that some people are like, well, I'm white, can I go? It's like, yes, please go support like all these marginalized creators. Please do. I love having shows like this where it does celebrate the culture, but I also want other people to feel like they're welcome at this event. And as far as I know, I think the Common Hearts group, they're very inclusive. So yeah, I would say that this was a very inclusive show in terms of audience and creators. What stood out to me the most with this show, I think, was just the community of it all. I don't think I've had a bad experience at a Latina focus show. Like, I've done Texas Latino Comic Con, I've done Mex Americon, and our people show up, you know what I'm saying? I want to see more large scale shows that celebrate our culture for sure. Creators in La Cultura. No, everyone was very welcoming. I made some really good friends and new connections, new potential collaboration partners at this show, which I always love. Like, all right, who wants to create fun stuff with me? and I love it. All right, let's talk about the post show. This is where everything concludes, and like, was it worth it, essentially? I did make table. So making table, for those who don't know, is making the funds back to pay for the table space. The table was $70. I made that, I think, in the first hour, thankfully, in terms of like the way I displayed my table to be able to showcase enough to make that back. I always think about that. Like, I have to make sure my table is laid out in a way that is visually appealing, that people want to come, look at all the little things, and then just start looking at everything else. Get something that'll bring people in and then make them look at everything else. I did profit a little bit. Thankfully, because this was a local show, I didn't really have any other expenses except for like a short drive. I don't even think it counted because like I filled up my tank earlier in the week, and it was just like, okay. It's like the show was actually like 12 minutes down the road for me. It was very, very local. I do recommend this show or any type of like little art show if you're local to the area. If you like had to like buy a hotel or buy a plane ticket, I don't think you would like buy back the cost. That, I'm just being real. My personal cost on this show was just the table, any restock fees, and then our meal. That, like, we ate some food at the venue, and like it was all paid back. I will say it all happened a majority of the first like 3 hours of the show. Like I said, I didn't make any sales the last hour, so I'm very grateful that I was able to pay it back. It wasn't that great of a profit, but it was enough to be like, I did it. I succeeded at the show. So yeah, I do recommend this show. I would participate again. However, if you are going to participate in a show like this or any sort of like local vendor market, I will say make sure you are local, because any sort of like expenses on like hotel or air probably wouldn't be made back on a show that is like this size of scale. But if you are local, want to try showcasing your art for like the first time, or you just want to like a casual little show in the middle of like big shows to just like relax and showcase your work, then yeah, I recommend shows like this. And I definitely will want to participate in the Common Hearts show again if I can get in. Their signups are so quick, and I always miss them. And of course, if y'all have any other questions regarding this show or shows in general, I will definitely answer them as best I can. And I also plan on doing a kind of like Artist Alley kind of FAQ kind of thing. basically my experience and my artist alley. I don't like calling it advice because I'm not like a professional artist alley artist, but just kind of like my preparation. I guess it is advice, huh? But yeah, I'll be filming one of those videos soon as well, just to kind of help anyone if anyone's feeling a little scared of wanting to throw their art out there in the world. I get it. I was one of those people too. In fact, sometimes I still am. All right, it's haul time. I want to show y'all everything I bought at the show. I've had this like on this side ready to show y'all since September. It's December 9th for anyone who wants to. So first on the list, I'm going to talk about Flores Bakehouse because I ended up buying some coffee cookies and some salsa from them. Y'all, it was gone in the first 2 weeks. Like, I finished the cookies like within 2 days, and the salsa became my favorite thing. But I'm gonna put her links down below. Oh my god, when I tell you this salsa is like one of the most flavorful spiced creations I've had in a long time, I mean it. Like, if I had filmed this the week of, I would have still had some to show y'all and like tried it live, but no, I devoured it, and I'm gonna have to like find her at another show because it was so good. She had these amazing confections and they were amazing. I would show them, but they are very much devoured and processed. All right, up next is the artist Baby Bean, who I absolutely fell in love with their table. But let me go through the stickers first, and then I'm gonna show y'all one of the big prints I got. Y'all are, there's a theme with the stuff that I got at this show, and y'all will pick up on it pretty fast. Okay, so first I got the sticker that says, "The horrors persist, but so do I." That's something I love to live by. Look at that. Aren't they cute? I got a little sloth. Look at a little sloth. Look out. Boba! And then I got Sailor Moon, because y'all know I love my girl Sailor Moon. I actually collect a lot of Sailor Moon stuff. I have all Sailor Moon stuff on my side of the bedroom and my whole vanity area. I'm redoing it right now, but it's all Sailor Moon themed. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all the sticker first and then the print, but this was very like, here's the sticker. Y'all, it's Sanrio characters, but they're gonchas. You guys, I'm freaking dead. So I actually didn't get to go to their table until later, but Ray went and walked around and surprised me with this print that made me have to like run and book it to their table to like look at everything else. But here's the print. It's all of the gonchas together. Look, it's my Melody, Kuromi, and Hello Kitty. Look how cute they are. There's a glare and I need it to go away. So go follow Baby Bean. The absolute cute, okay, and then last but not least, listen. I have a very specific type of thing that I love. So y'all know I love Hello Kitty, but another thing that I really love is clowns. And when I tell you, I saw this and nearly, oh my god, like I don't even think I said hi to the poor artist at our table. I was just like, how much is that? So this is from Knotless. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm definitely gonna put their links down below. But oh my god, their creations make me so happy. And like, they keep showing stuff on their Instagram and I'm like, well, I have to buy more. So yeah, she's so cute and she's so soft. So yeah, that's my haul from Corazon de la Cultura, as well as a little quick review of the show. I hope you like this format. If not, I guess let me know. I guess I'll quit. I hope this was helpful, and I hope if any of you are local to the DFW area or just have someone that y'all can stay with while here and want to participate in the show, do it. Check out Common Hearts. I'm going to leave their links down below as well if you're interested in any of their shows. And if there's any shows that you would like to see me at, let me know. Like, send me a message, be like, have you heard of this con? Or if it's like a bigger con, let the con organizers know that, hey, I want to see Spice at your show. She's kind of cool. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe if that's what you're into. If not, that's fine. I can't make you do anything. You're your own person, and I'm proud of you. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!